So we're going to move on to the upper body now, and I want to show you a good warm-up taken from the functional range conditioning world. It's probably, of all the FRC stuff that we've learned, probably the thing that we find ourselves returning to the most are the shoulder CARs, the shoulder controlled articular rotations. So controlled articular rotation, that's just a fancy way of saying we're going to move your humerus through all of its articulations in the glenohumeral joint. So that big bone in our upper arm, that's the humerus. We're going to move it through all the ways that it moves, unloaded, so that we can, maintain our functional mobility and warm up a little bit before we load our upper body. So a shoulder CAR, we're going to start with palm facing out. We're going to scrape across the front of the body, keeping elbows straight and even keeping fingers straight, because we don't want to leak energy away from the joint that we're focusing on. So the only thing that should be moving here is that big bone, the humerus in the upper arm. So I'm going to scrape across. Eventually I run out of space, so now I'm going to rotate. So palm is facing me. I'm continuing that rotation. So we're moving that humerus as we're rotating it. By the time I get to my ear, my palm is facing out. And now I'm going to continue that rotation as I reach into the back seat, continuing the rotation until now you see my palm is facing out, and this is the end position. So go through those slowly. It's a good warm-up for upper body loaded movements. Now we're going to reverse that. So I'm going to start where I finished before, reaching behind as I start to unwind. At each point of this movement, we start to run out of some space. And so as we run out of space, then we rotate and move forward. So now I'm going to scrape across, and you see I end this version sort of where I began. So do 5 of those in each direction on each side as a good warm-up for your shoulders before you start loading your upper body.